Imagine for a minute that Alan Milne's tale about Winnie the Pooh, Christopher Robin, Piglet, and all their friends is not a sweet children's story at all. Breaking his promise to never part with his teddy bear, Christopher Robin goes away to college. He comes back 5 years later, only to discover that his now bitter friends have gone savage and started to kill people. And to make things even worse, there are 5 girls that move into a house in the neighborhood. In the United States, literary works are protected by copyright for 95 years since their first publication. Once that period is over, they are released into the public domain. In 2022, the books that entered the public domain were Bambi and Alan Milne's Winnie the Pooh. Now literally anyone can adapt these stories to screen without risking a copyright infringement lawsuit. A British director, Rhys Frake-Waterfield, and his production company Jagged Edge Films grabbed the opportunity and made the horror versions of Winnie the Pooh and Bambi. Bambi the Reckoning, in which the baby deer avenges the death of his beloved mom, is still in works and waiting to be released. As for the teddy bear slasher, pretentiously entitled Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, it already came out in January 2023. A movie, in which endearing characters from the world-known children's book Massacre Screaming Girls couldn't possibly flop at the box office, especially considering that it only cost $100,000 to make. But the thing is, Winnie's commercial success is no indication of the film's artistic value. It just reveals a big number of keen cinephiles that were curious enough to take a look at the bizarre spectacle. As for the movie itself, it's just a rotten piece of cinema that fails both as a slasher and a work of art in general. The film has no adequate storytelling, poor visuals, bad acting, flawed editing, and lame rubber masks that are supposed to depict Winnie and Piglet. And yet, it's not what makes Blood and Honey unwatchable. The film's main problem has to do with its very essence. It's just a half-amateurish trash movie that was not in the least ready for the attention that it got online. The movie was shot in 10 days, which is a very short period even for a film like this. For instance, Blair Witch took 3 weeks to shoot, while having no technically complex scenes. Blood and Honey, on the contrary, features a great deal of bloody killings, as well as some stunts. Once the news about Blood and Honey being made hit the media, audiences got very excited for the upcoming project, flooding the internet with memes, reposts, and discussions. Seeing the enthusiastic response, the production company raised money for additional photography. The reshoots didn't save the film, though. Blood and Honey had always been and remained a cheap, second-rate horror whose only trump card was its gory title and macabre poster. At the same time, it's quite possible that out of an amateurish fanfic, Winnie the Pooh may grow into a high-profile franchise. With several $1 million profited from Blood and Honey, there's nothing standing in the way of a sequel that will hopefully avoid the mistakes of the first part. By the looks of it, the creative team have really big plans for the story. The production company is determined to spend $500,000 on the second movie. According to Frake-Waterfield, his ambition is to build a Marvel-like cinematic universe, with children's book characters turned ruthless killers and even make crossovers between different stories.